Professor Priscilla Leung. President, in October last year, in the Central Financial Work Conference, it is said that we should develop technology finance, green finance, inclusive finance, pension finance, and digital finance. I speak in support of a motion on promoting high-quality development to build China into a financial powerhouse in all of the amendments. I'd like to give you a new angle, that is space finance. Now, I'd like to share with you my insight. We organized the 3rd Global Financial Leaders Investment Summit this year. Vice Premier He Lifeng proposed 3 suggestions. He asked us to deepen financial reform and innovations, enhance our financial competitiveness, as well as ride on national plans and strategies. How do we ride on national strategy? I helped a young person look at whether we can introduce space-related enterprises and financial institutions. In 2021, I filmed a few videos on Starlinks. That was when I was first introduced to Elon Musk. In the future 10 years, they will have satellites surrounding the Earth. If we are not resilient enough, then we will not be able to catch up. In the Obama era, he passed an act allowing community enterprises, including the company of Elon Musk, to collect minerals from the space. And these companies can own the materials that they collected from space. It seems that we don't have a universal law in outer space. Coming back to Hong Kong, this young person spent a lot of time before he identified a company that on satellite. In Hong Kong U, we have a program on space law, and the Poly U also has a relevant program. I watched a TV program on Poly U's efforts on spatial exploration. The video features some of their professors and students. Finally, Hong Kong people can become a payload specialist. We have some companies that have worked on this area, but most of them failed. But there are infinite opportunities in the spatial market over the world. We must seize them. A lot of international law firms are looking into space laws. And to whom do the minerals collected from the space come from? And what are to whom does the intellectual property belong? Please do not code switch, Professor Leung. I hope that we will not lag behind in this area of space law or spatial exploration. Within 5 years, the government should look into this topic. I promoted green economy some 10 years ago or 20 years ago. Professor Leung, please do not code switch. Please either stick to Chinese or English. President, we are bilingual. I'd like to talk about green finance. In this council, you either speak Cantonese or English. I only have 20 seconds left. I hope that the secretary will undertake that they will develop spatial finance or space finance. I so submit.
You.
Ms. Lee.
President, I thank Mr. Robert Lee for moving this motion, which is a very important subject. It's about building China into a financial powerhouse. The country is at a critical stage of development. We need to go for high-quality development. And in terms of scale of economy, we are already the country is the second largest economy in the world. If we go by previous examples and we go along this direction, very soon it's possible that we'll become the strongest country in the world. But then if you look at the financial centers in the country, well, Hong Kong is the third financial center in the country. So in terms of national strengths, and in terms of being a financial powerhouse, we need to serve the needs of the country. So we need to have more than one financial centers. Now the country is vast, and then there are other financial centers, in Shanghai, Beijing, Shenzhen, and we could all, work in different areas. So we're talking about vast country, so we need to consider our position and the focus of our business and how we could complement the different roles of the financial centers in the country. Now, given our current development, I think the country can develop at least two major international financial centers that are comparable to the New York or London financial market. One financial market is in Shanghai, the other in Hong Kong. If you look at the development of financial markets, our development is similar to that of London. We have a small local economy, but then we are able to support a huge international financial market. Now, there are other international financial centers with a huge local economy, so we're different. We are able to develop this way because we have a strong regulatory regime and so on, so we're able to attract international investors. So that's why we're able to keep expanding the market and the scope of service we offer. Now, there is division of labor between our financial center and that on the mainland, then we should be externally oriented, while the Shanghai financial center could be domestically oriented. Now we could develop insurance products, asset management, offshore RMB business, and so on. Now, say for the Shanghai International Financial Center, we could complement each other, and we could both contribute to the building of the country into a financial powerhouse. Now, if we consolidate our financial center here, we could work on 5 areas. One, we should promote Hong Kong as the multinational bank loan center. So that's about Chinese banks extending loans to outside to the world through Hong Kong, and also international banks giving loans to the mainland through Hong Kong. So it's about our role as a super connector. London actually plays a similar role. There are many banks, including American banks, that are based in London, and they give loans to the European market. Before the Asian financial crisis, Hong Kong was the base of lending for the mainland. So Hong Kong could become a loan center in Asia. And then second direction is that we could become financing center. There are for mainland businesses. The mainland businesses are lining up to be listed in Hong Kong, but we must expand the Asian market as well. Bond markets, I see there's active development. The government should consider revitalizing the secondary bond market in London. In London, they have such a market, so that's where we could also expand as well. And then we are an offshore RMB business center. That's a very important point in the building of a financial powerhouse. The last point is we need to train more financial talents. There are various talent schemes that bring in financial talents, so we need to work harder, and we need to find out what exactly we need, and then we could further build ourselves into a financial center and support the country's development. Thank you. Mr. Yim Kong. Well, the financial market is the financial industry is a pillar industry in Hong Kong. I thank Mr. Robert LEE for moving the motion. So we have this opportunity to consider the high quality development of the financial sector. Now, as the country develops into a financial powerhouse, Hong Kong has an essential mission. The SO government needs to be proactive and keep improving the regulatory framework, and there must also be further expansion of the Connect schemes. And so there could also be a development of the derivative market. Hong Kong must consolidate its position too as the offshore RMB business hub, and we must support we must offer various concessionary measures for RMB denominated settlement. Chinese enterprises, Chinese-funded enterprises have been an important force in the Hong Kong's economic development. Now, there are over 1,400 Chinese enterprises listed in Hong Kong. They account for more than half of the companies on the Hong Kong exchange, and they account for 80% of the market capitalization. Chinese enterprises have a long history. They have a vast variety of business, and it's an important cornerstone for our stability as a financial center. Now, among the top 10 banks, half of them are Chinese banks. They are in investment banking business and other venture capital and so on. And then Chinese enterprises in Hong Kong will continue to leverage their unique advantage. So they will make further contribution to Hong Kong, to development of Hong Kong and the country into financial powerhouse. I think we could make good use of the advantage of Hong Kong as an international financial center. So Hong Kong could become a platform for asset management, and we could set up asset management centers, and we could keep improving the financing arrangement, and there could be better collaboration with GBA. We could promote a free flow of funds across the boundary, and then we must also actively train financial talents. We can provide different jobs in the financial market, and then we could bring top talents to come to Hong Kong, and then Hong Kong will become a hub for high caliber talents. And then we need to keep improving our internal risk management regime, so that we could better face the challenges of risk, external risk. And then for Hong Kong, businesses have to go global. At the same time, they must go to the mainland to provide efficient financial services. Now, Chinese enterprises will fully support the direction of development for Hong Kong, and we will contribute to the building of the country into a financial powerhouse, as well as the development consolidation of Hong Kong's position as an international financial center. Thank you.
Motion proposed by Councillor Robert LEE, along with all the amendment, in light of the complex and volatile global economy landscape, our nation is actively advancing its strategy for high-quality development. As an international financial center, Hong Kong must leverage its unique advantages, heed the 3 recommendations put forth by Vice Premier He Lifeng, and continue to deepen financial reforms and innovations. Today, I would like to use Islamic finance as an example to illustrate how Hong Kong can consolidate and enhance its international financial position while contributing to high-quality development. This year's policy address has clearly stated that the government is actively promoting cooperation with major sovereign wealth funds in the Middle East and deepening financial ties with Islamic markets. Hong Kong possesses considerable potential to further develop the Islamic finance market, but we must first comprehend its unique operation models and principles. Unlike conventional finance, Islamic finance prohibits interest-based mechanism, and the balance sheet reflects a risk-sharing approach rather than a creditor or debtor relationship. It operates through 4 primary modes: profit sharing, revenue sharing, partnership, and mudabaha leasing. For example, revenue sharing allows investor to begin earning returns during the revenue generating phase rather than waiting for the full profitability. This approach mitigates the risk associated with the earlier stage ventures. In practice, if a bank invests, for example, 1 million Hong Kong dollar to support the retail businesses, rather than waiting for the profits to distribute interest as in a conventional financial situation, the bank can start sharing revenue as it comes in. It ensures the returns even in the absence of the immediate profitability. Another prevalent mode is a mudabaha agreement, where a bank purchases assets required by the businesses and resells them to a client at a fixed markup. These arrangements ensures the transparencies and the fairness aligned with the Islamic principles. Islamic finance also emphasizes risk sharing. In conventional lending, borrowers bears the full burdens of the default or project failure. However, in Islamic finance, banks or investors act as a partner, sharing both risk and rewards with the business owners. While this necessitates more active monitoring, such as regular reviews of the business activities, it fosters a more resilient investment ecosystem. These concepts are quite distinct from the conventional model used in Hong Kong, so regulators and industry gatekeepers will need to turn their heads around a little bit better to facilitate this ecosystem if we are truly looking into tapping into the market. Yes, the Hong Kong Monetary Authority is experienced in issuing Islamic bonds, but we do have some legal and tax frameworks in supporting so. But at the same time, however, we do need some more well-equipped individuals for the Islamic finance to reach its full potential. With the current talent visa scheme, I can say that we could target these to attracting these Islamic finance professionals from places like Dubai or Malaysia, or even young professionals from some of the Muslim regions in the mainland China, such as Ningxia, who already possess a deep culture understanding and the Islamic culture and a strong language skills. On the other hand, we should also explore the possibilities of cooperation programs to train our local talent in facilitating this untapped market by offering some joint certification courses and degree programs in Islamic finance. We could cultivate a new generation of professionals equipped to navigate this growing sector. In summary, to fully develop Hong Kong's Islamic finance market, we cannot merely rely on professionals obtaining 1 or 2 professional licenses, nor can we be content with issuing 1 or 2 Islamic bonds. We must have a deep understanding of the underlying principles of the Islamic finance, and policies must be implemented to dismantle barriers and foster a more deductive environment in order to truly succeed in the market and immerse potential. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I support this motion.
Mr. Perry Yu. Thank you, President. I speak in support of the motion and other amendments. The financial industry is a very important industry. It contributes to about 2% of the local GDP. In 2024, there was a report, and there is also a report in 2023. Hong Kong ranks 3rd. In 2023, in the IPO market of Hong Kong, we ranked 2nd. As at the end of August this year, at the market value, Hong Kong is the 4th largest bond market in Asia and the 7th largest in the world. We deal with some 80% of the offshore renminbi amount. Our status as an international financial center is reputable. We enjoy the reputation around the world. We have a strong central people's bank. We have strong financial institution, a strong international financial center, as well as a strong team of financial talents. We have a high level of internationalization in tourism, bond issuance, security issuance. We have a lot of conventional strengths. So how can we leverage on our strengths to contribute to the country, to contribute to the high quality financial development of the country? This is very important. We are facing changes not seen in a century. There are great uncertainties in the global financial and economic landscape, but we do have strengths. One, we have the strong support of our country. We have a vibrant local economy. We also have the principle of one country, two systems. We use the common law system and the English language as the basis. We attract capital. We also attract professional services in order to face the upcoming challenges. I agree with the motion and the amendments that we need to give full play to the principle of one country, two systems to cement our status as an international financial center. We need to dovetail with the national developments and to promote high-quality development of the Belt and Road Initiative. On the internationalization of renminbi, we have a great mission. We play the role of a super connector between the mainland and the world. We need to give full play to our role as a bridgehead of renminbi, and we also need to leverage on the strengths of our system that is transparent, highly efficient, and so on. That is to help with the internationalization of renminbi. From the perspective of tourism, financial development is an important growth engine. From a micro perspective, in Hong Kong, we just held a global financial leaders investment summit. There were a lot of global leaders coming to the summit. It attracted a lot of visitors to Hong Kong, contributing to the development of MICE. Many exchange tours also have the theme of finance, and this will boost the local tourism industry. Injecting impetus to finance can help with the transformation of the tourist industry. The relevant stakeholders can enjoy financing services, and tourism can act as a catalyst to promote the in-depth integrated development of culture and tourism. The construction of a smart system can provide convenient payment means, so we can take into account demand and supply at the same time. I so submit. Thank you, President. Mr. Shang Hailong. Thank you, Deputy President. I thank the motion moved by Mr. Robert Lee and other amendments. In October there was the Central Financial Work Conference. Education, technology, culture, talents, these are important areas, and the finance aspect ranks 14th. It contributes to the great rejuvenation of our nation. On the 19th of November, Vice Premier of China, Mr. He Lifeng, visited Hong Kong and spoke at the Global Financial Leaders Investment Summit. I think the contents are very rich. The instructions are very clear as well. It was the first time I heard from one of the leaders of China speaking on the long-term development of Hong Kong. It can serve as a roadmap and compass for Hong Kong. We need to treasure the precious development opportunities, and our role is very important to the development of our country. We have a strong financial system. In the financial tsunami in 1997, SARS in 2003, and the financial tsunami in 2008, confidence is very important. It's even more important than gold. We need to develop a world-leading financial center in order to highlight our value and status in our country's financial development. Hong Kong needs to continue to give full play to our role as a super connector between the mainland and the world in order to enhance our status as an international financial center. Deputy President, our country recognizes our status as an international financial center. It also motivates us to make enhancements. I'd like to speak on fintech. Fintech has such a large coverage, and I want to talk about digital integration. We need to support the development of digital banks. We have 8 digital banks, from virtual banks to digital banks. It's not just about the change in the name. The development of the digital banks is facing headwinds. They have a total of 2.2 million of users. We need to encourage the use of digital banks. The government needs to do more in this regard. We have been promoting the use of DPS, Deposit Protection Scheme. Should it be made applicable to digital banks as well? Digital banks should play a role in the commercialization of different initiatives. We have FPS, faster payment system. We can make use of the telephone number in order to make transfer. In relation to cross-boundary transfer, rumor had it that it will be made available in 2025. This is a good policy. In this regard, digital banks have a good foundation of clients, and the government needs to make good use of the existing resources in order to support the development of digital banks. We also need to reduce the risks facing digital banks. The sector related to meet that the use of false identity card or bogus identity card is common, and there are risks to the role of Hong Kong as an international financial center. We need to work with different units in the administration to launch EKYC in order to reduce the risks facing digital banks. We also need to support the development of the Northern Metropolis and make good use of the International INT Center in order to take forward the development of International Financial Center. I so submit. Thank you, Deputy President. Mr. Lai Tong Kwok. Thank you, Deputy President. We support building our country into a financial powerhouse. To this end, we need to build Hong Kong into an international financial center. This is in line with the original intent with the Basic Law. Article 109 of the Basic Law confirms the status of Hong Kong as an international financial center. But I don't think it's enough. We need to do more. We need to continuously enhance our status. Financial development has been faring quite well, and if we need to make breakthroughs, naturally enough, we need to redouble our efforts. Z-Yen think tank in UK and another research institute in China issued International Financial Center report twice. In the report in September, Hong Kong once again made to the top 3. We feel excited about this, but we should not forget about the expectations given by our country. We shouldn't be complacent. We should draw reference from the strengths of other places. In the past 2.5 years, apart from New York and London, which did not make to the top 3 positions, Singapore had an edge over us in the ranking, but then it did not have our strength of the support from our motherland. But then it is on the same par with us in terms of the international financial center position. Then we need to learn from Singapore. The equity market in Hong Kong is probably better, but in terms of other financial services, we may not be able to rival Singapore. We can learn from Singapore. The government can attract overseas enterprises to establish presence in Hong Kong. We can encourage unique financial derivatives coming to Hong Kong and allow the issuance of bonds in Hong Kong. If we are to cement our status as an international financial center, we can work on different fronts. One, we need to keep our finger on the pulse of the global financial trend. We need to make good use of our highly professional services of, say, accounting, legal aspect, to provide financial services and products to our clients in order to promote green investment and green bond market. We also need to make good use of our own strengths to develop the offshore renminbi market. We have the staunch support of our motherland. We have also worked hard for a long time. We have the largest pool of offshore renminbi pool. There are more and more countries and places using RMB for transaction settlement. In the Belt and Road Initiative, for the countries along the Belt and Road, this is more obvious. We do need to do our level best to develop our offshore renminbi market. We also need to continuously promote the internationalization of renminbi to prepare ourselves for cross-boundary renminbi settlement in order to enhance the provision of services in this area. My party colleague, Mr. Adrian Ho, mentioned in the amendment that we need to collaborate with other regions and countries to deepen our financial collaboration. We have a long history of working with the US and Europe. Despite tight geopolitical tensions around the world, we shouldn't give up on our ties with the US and Europe. We need to continue to enhance our appeal so that we won't be isolated when it comes to financial development. We also need to attract more foreign capital in Hong Kong. East Asian markets, Middle East market, we need to attract them to come to Hong Kong. As long as we work together, success won't be far away. I so submit. Thank you, Deputy President.
Mr. Rock Chen. Mr. Deputy, I declare that I invest in a tech startup in Web3. The central government proposes stronger efforts to build a financial powerhouse. Given this opportunity, Hong Kong must cement its role and status as an international financial center and the largest offshore RMB business hub so that we can contribute in new ways to our country's effort. Our country stresses the Chinese way to financial development. We stick to the objective rules of financial development while also staying in line with our country's conditions. There's a distinction between our country's conditions and what you see in the West. Hong Kong should leverage its strength under one country, two systems. We should be a trailblazer. We should pilot different approaches to help our country. I want to discuss fintech and digital assets. Fintech plays a role in our leading position in finance. The DAB proposed a Web3 policy proposal. We argue for financial services, digital assets, and cross-boundary services. This is to meet the need for digital financing. Our measures will mean greater efficiency in financial services and also foster the flow of capital. There are also efforts on digital insurance, digital asset trading, and central bank digital currencies. Our proposal focuses on the blockchain application for real-world assets. We also propose more collaboration within the Greater Bay Area so that Hong Kong becomes more competitive. The Hong Kong Monetary Authority is pursuing the Project Ensemble. This is about developing new infrastructure for the tokenization market. The Securities and Futures Commission is also moving ahead with the work on the platform for digital currencies. We should stick to our country's principle of regulation with flexibility. We should create this digital asset ecosystem so that we create fresh impetus for Hong Kong's development. On tapping overseas markets, let's explore the Belt and Road countries, Middle East, and ASEAN countries so that we bring in new capital. Let's also nurture professionals who know Southeast Asia and the Middle East. For the government, it should improve its policies and institutions. Let's team up with the rest of the GBA and develop green, low-carbon businesses. Hong Kong has a leading position in the green business in Asia. Green and sustainable bonds arranged in Hong Kong makes up a third of the total for Asia. Hong Kong can help Belt and Road countries with green transition by offering tailor-made solutions. In the Sustainability Action Agenda, the government will adopt the ISSB standards. There will be a roadmap, and that will help Hong Kong align its standards with international practice. That will raise Hong Kong's status as a node in green finance. Geopolitical challenges and a potential trade war are uncertainties ahead. Still, we must leverage our strength as we stick to high-quality development, as we echo President Xi's call, so that we keep pursuing the 5 key areas of finance: pension, green, inclusive, technology, etc., so that we contribute to our country's development as a financial powerhouse. I so submit I support the motion. Professor William Wong. Thank you, Mr. Deputy. I thank Mr. Robert Lee for his motion on promoting high-quality development to build China into a financial powerhouse. After 40 years of reforming and opening up, our country is on target to become a socialist power that is also modernized. President Xi Jinping proposed a structure with strong currency, strong central bank, financial institutions, international financial center, financial regulation, and financial talent. Hong Kong is an international financial center. We should strengthen our status in the digital economy and Web3. Hong Kong should take the lead as we help our country with high-quality economic development. Web3 is the next big thing, and that unlocks boundless opportunities. With that also come risks. Web3 is about decentralization. Properly harnessed, that can further the development of crypto assets. Without market regulation, problems can also come up. Singapore used to be a champion of Web3. That drew many crypto and blockchain businesses to that country. But many such businesses folded, and then Singapore got more cautious, and that had an impact on market players. Hong Kong also saw JPEX, a case involving a crypto business. JPEX never had any approval. That platform drew massive investments and then all of a sudden imposed restrictions on withdrawal. More than 2,000 people lost more than $1 billion Hong Kong dollars. Development properly balanced with regulation will be a tough task. The SAR government, I know the government has done much in digital assets and virtual assets. In March this year, the Monetary Authority rolled out a sandbox for the issuers of stable coins for testing in a controlled environment. The government also rolled out a policy statement on digital assets in Hong Kong. The government stated its policy position on such assets and provided guidance for the market. There's still room for improvement in our laws and market regulation. Education, for example. Let's tell people about virtual assets. Hong Kong also needs a comprehensive Web3 development blueprint on innovation, laws, and the market. We need medium and long-term goals. On the technology, let's encourage tech businesses. Let's work with them to encourage the use of blockchains. Hong Kong should also work on RegTech and licensing so that we can do monitoring in real time. Let's use AI and big data analysis to monitor market transactions. That way we can spot abnormalities early on to contain risks. We should play an active part in global Web3 bodies. We should play a part in setting standards so that we stay aligned with the international practice, and then we can attract more investors and businesses. Web3 will be a key opportunity for us. We can play a leading role in this global digital transformation, and we can contribute to our country in greater ways. I so submit. I support the motion and all 8 amendments. Mr. Kingsley Wong. Thank you, Mr. Deputy. When finance thrives, our economy prospers. Hong Kong should stick to innovation to thrive in the 5 key areas of finance. And they're tech finance, green finance, inclusive finance, pension finance, and digital finance. We get these things right, we will be able to create new impetus for our country, and then we can enhance people's sense of gain, well-being, and security. Mr. Bill Tan proposed pension finance. I want to share my thoughts on those areas. Hong Kong's population is aging. By 2046, our elderly population will be at 2.47 million people, and that will be a third of the population. Retirement protection will be a major challenge. The MPF spans 30 to 40 years in terms of contribution. You get the MPF right, there will be retirement protection. But our experience over the past 20 years points to various problems. Investment options, volatilities, among other problems, and that makes the MPF a less attractive option. Starting from May 1st next year, we will be dropping the offsetting mechanism. Now is the best opportunity to offer steady investment options that offer above inflation returns. The MPF market is seeing a monopoly. Fund companies have their profits guaranteed. They have no incentive to offer returns above inflation. Past performance over the past 20 years shows products almost guarantee you a loss. A previous budget proposed allowing the MPF to invest in government funds with low processing fees. On the 1st of January this year, the FSTB said this in a written reply to my question. They would work on a mechanism, but 10 months later, the government kept issuing bonds. Products with a steady return are nowhere to be seen. There's $1.2 trillion in MPF assets. 20% goes to bonds and currencies. $86 billion in new contribution goes into this amount. The government issued $55 billion in silver bonds. And then the infrastructure bonds just came out. It's $20 to $25 billion. The guaranteed interest rate is 3.5%. The guarantee returns are above the current inflation rate of 2%. The bond issuance of this size can meet the need for a product offering steady returns. Our infrastructure projects will also need a massive amount of money. So we can look at our MPF. If the government has the will, we have what it takes to offer MPF-based products that offer returns above inflation, and that can meet the goals proposed by Mr. Bill Tang. Mr. Deputy, back in 2018, the first public annuity came out. Alongside time deposit and bonds, annuities are different because they are disregarded. When you buy $1.5 million of annuities, you get $9,100 in annuities payout every month. And people can still qualify for the old age living allowance, and that gives you $13,000 per month. That's a handsome return, and you can keep obtaining that money. The government should keep studying such measures. When we should let people convert their MPF balance into annuity so that people get a steady stream of income, even in retirement. Promoting high-quality financial development in Hong Kong. CUF includes financial development that benefits people. The government should act like a capable government in an efficient market so that everyone can benefit. I so submit.
Mr. Martin Yao, President, finance is the lifeblood of national economy. It is also a key component of the country. According to Presidency, for a financial powerhouse or a country with great financial strength, it should come with the key core financial elements with a strong foundation. Hong Kong has a good legal system. We also have a thriving INT ecosystem, and we have the prerequisites to become a major driver. We are in a leading position. According to the Global Financial Center Index, in terms of fintech ranking, we rank the 9th. We are within the top 10. We have over 11,000 fintech companies in Hong Kong covering digital assets, digital currency, blockchain application, as well as payment systems. We have a very robust ecosystem, and we bring lots of new opportunities to other industries as well. For example, for payment solutions, we are driving innovation and reform. For companies that have access issues with traditional banks, new platforms are provided. For SMEs in specialized industries, more convenient financing channels are provided. I hope that more solutions can be put in place to address the pain points of SMEs in particular industries. When it comes to fintech, there should also be more business matching so as to further enrich the fintech ecosystem in Hong Kong and bolster our status as an international financial center. Hong Kong has the backing of the motherland. We also enjoy the institutional advantage of one country, two systems. We are an important testing ground for collaboration. Last year, we signed a tripartite agreement to roll out a one-stop platform for the fintech solutions, so that in terms of the sharing of information, we can leverage on our valuable experience acquired and provide quality financial services to the Belt and Road markets and help mainland enterprises go global and tap overseas markets. Financial institutions should also stay vigilant and be determined to undertake reforms. We have AI, blockchain, open source code, and other technologies. 7 key technologies in total that will cause disruption to the traditional industries. In recent years, our authority has rolled out a number of sandbox schemes in collaboration with tech firms so as to enhance service efficiency and quality. The government should also foster greater collaboration with the business sector and the academia. This year, through the collaboration, a new AI model was developed together with an enhanced computing power. We should also work with traditional financial institutions in order to develop more use cases for the products, especially for ESG and other asset management scenarios. We should also be aware of the relevant risks so that risk assessment standards can be put in place for different businesses so as to ensure healthy development of the financial sector. Mr. Benson-Look. Thank you, Deputy President. I thank Mr. Robert LEE for moving the motion of promoting high-quality development to build China into a financial powerhouse. Presidency on the 16th of January this year delivered important remarks in a talk on promoting high-quality financial development. He mentioned that there are 6 key core financial elements, including currency, a central bank, financial institutions, international financial centers, financial supervision, and a team of financial talents in order to build our country into a financial powerhouse. Now, all along, the central authorities have given us this important mission of maintaining our status as an international financial center. This is a very important role for Hong Kong. In May this year, the central government also promulgated a guiding opinion on doing a good job in the 5 major articles, that is on technology finance, green finance, inclusive finance, pension finance, and digital finance, so as to accelerate the building of a modern financial system. So these are the major areas of a financial powerhouse. I'd like to speak on green finance. It's something close to my heart. In recent years, we have made progress. According to the report released in March 2024, and that's a quarterly bulletin of the Hong Kong MA, in terms of green and sustainable bonds, the issue size stood at $29.9 billion. That's over 1/3 of the total in Asia. For Hong Kong Exchange, in October 2023, it signed a cooperation agreement with the Shenzhen Carbon and Emission Exchange. In November this year, another report was released, and that is in terms of ESG. 79% of companies have set up a committee on ESG to enhance governance. This shows more importance being attached by listed companies on ESGs, and that there will be guidance for companies to invest more on ESG. So on this note, I hope that the government will continue to collaborate with the financial sector, and I have the following suggestions. First, we should enhance publicity to enterprises in the Greater Bay Area. There should be more support for these enterprises to come to Hong Kong and issue green and sustainable bonds. We should promote green product, green technology, and green data disclosure standards so as to promote financial services in the Greater Bay Area. There should also be a mechanism put in place to monitor whether these projects are in line with the relevant environmental assessment standards and whether these projects are in line with the ESG and green objectives. Second, the government should encourage more organizations to run seminars. Matching funds should be provided to provide subsidies to SMEs to make use of green and sustainable tools to expedite the upgrading and transformation of their green-related businesses. Third, the pilot scheme on training ESG and green financial talents should be extended. We should also cultivate the interest among students in this regard. That means we should collaborate with tertiary institutions so as to cultivate their interest in green and sustainable finance, and that is under the pilot green and sustainable finance capacity building support scheme. Let me remind members, according to the House rules, the time limit of this debate is in effect. So this debate will end at 5:20. After Dr. Junius Ho has spoken at 4:46, I will invite members who have moved amendments to move their amendments, and then we'll deal with the rest of the procedures. Ms. Eunice Yong, I support Mr. Robert Lee's original motion and the amendments moved by other members. Hong Kong is an international financial center. It is connected to the world as well as the mainland. It is a super connector. It is also a key driving force in helping our country's development into a financial powerhouse. Now, we play a pivotal role in terms of the global financial market. Under One Country, Two Systems, we help mainland enterprises go global by providing them with holistic financial services. We also provide a pathway and the connecting bridge for mainland enterprises to go global. We provide pivotal support to our national strategy. In terms of fintech, we have also achieved a lot. We have nurtured some local tech firms in terms of blockchain cryptocurrency and blockchain. We are now in the lead. We also foster exchanges with our global partners. All these could help digitization and upgrade of our financial services sector. We also help our country in this regard. Now, in light of the aging population, the Hong Kong SL government has been attaching more importance to retirement protection to help our elderly get prepared for their life after retirement. This year, the government set up the working group on promoting silver economy. The Hong Kong Mortgage Corp has also introduced the Retire 3 products that would provide a stable stream of income for retirees. In today's questions, now, for example, I learned that the policy reverse mortgage program is in fact under enrolled. So I think more publicity should be done to raise the public awareness. All these can help our elderly better understand their retirement protection whilst promoting silver economy. On the trading of precious metal or non-ferrous metal, we enjoy inherent advantages. We are one of the largest physical gold trading centers in the world. We're able to provide a transparent and highly efficient trading platform for global investors. With internationalization of renminbi and Belt and Road Initiative, we can further enhance our role as an international gold exchange trading center, as well as bolstering our lead in this regard. In terms of digital trading, this is also one important area of building a financial powerhouse. This is a key core element in terms of value creation. We should further promote flow of information. A trading platform can help drive product innovation. We can also help serve real economy. We can also promote other areas of financial development such as inclusive finance. Now we have a good legal system and IP trading advantage, so we should expedite our development. We need to improve our legal system and put in place standards to safeguard the data privacy so that we contribute to our country by injecting impetus. All in all, Hong Kong must play a more proactive role in the country's plan in developing a financial powerhouse. We need to grasp opportunities in terms of pension, finance, insurance, digital finance, tech finance, etc. We need to continue to make an effort to bolster our status as an IFC.
Ms. Yueheng, thank you, Deputy President. I speak in support of the motion of Mr. Robert LEE on promoting high-quality development to build China into a financial powerhouse and other amendments. President Xi Jinping analyzed the challenges facing the high-quality development of finance in the the Central Financial Work Conference. The 5 major articles were mentioned. In the conference, a handful of different major financial strategies were mentioned. The National Financial Regulatory Administration also mentioned technology finance. It shows that it is very important. Finance is important to the development of a society. Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Google, Tesla, and so on. All these are technology companies and they rank the highest in the US equity market. They drive the market in the US. Let us take a look at the Hong Kong equity market. Tencent, Alibaba, and so on. These are leading technology companies ranking very high in the Hong Kong equity market. We can see that finance has a lot to do with technological advancements. In the motion today, I'd like to point out 2 points. One, we need to promote technology finance in order to drive the development of the Northern Metropolis. In the UST, there was a talk held by a public figure. Jensen Huang, NVIDIA. He said that Hong Kong played a big role in the development of AI. A development agenda in relation to Heta was also issued. It is used as the testing field to bring together the strengths of Shenzhen and Hong Kong. We have product design, publicity, manufacture, sale, and so on. It's no easy task. The INT development of Shenzhen depends a lot on enterprises. When we take forward the development of Heta Park, that will help with the development of Hong Kong. There was a collaboration agreement signed in 2021. I believe there will be more demands to promote cross-boundary financial technology or technology finance strategies. This will lend capital support to SMEs. Last March, the Hong Kong X also provided a new avenue for going listed for specialist tech firms. we can see the relaxation of the threshold for going listed. I hope the administration can keep enhancing this financing channel in order to promote I&T companies to go listed in Hong Kong. We also need to attract more high-quality companies to Hong Kong. The third plenum this year mentioned attracting capital to the market. So the amendment mentioned enhancing the foreign reserve. It is said that we need to reduce the relevant threshold in the Hong Kong equity market, as well as the stamp duty in the Hong Kong equity market. This will help with the competitive edge and the liquidity in the local market. In the Hong Kong equity market, we can see more impetus as SF Express was asked to go listed in Hong Kong. So we can help mainland enterprises to obtain foreign capital or international capital, so we can improve the quality of listed companies. Thank you, Deputy President. Dr. Junius Ho. Thank you, Deputy President. I speak in support of Mr. Robert Lee's motion on promoting high-quality development to build China into a financial powerhouse. I'll get down to business, how we should do this job well. In paragraph 42 to 46, Mr. John Lee, our chief executive, said that we need to develop the international gold market. The amount of export and import of gold, we rank first, or we rank very high in around the world. But we still need to make enhancements, especially on the storage of gold. In the policy address this year, we can see our deficiency in this area. And I'd like to speak on this. And the FSTB can consider taking on board my view. Close to 400 tons of the throughput is close to saturation. We can see the existing figures. Our country has 2,300 tons of gold. In the US, they have 8,000 tons. If we want to build our country into a large gold market, then at least our storage of gold must exceed a quarter of the amount of storage of gold in the US. That is, we need to have at least 2,000 tons. This is a ballpark figure for your reference. Let's take the base figure of 400 tons. It can be filled up quite quickly. So 2,000 tons, this is actually a very conservative figure. You may be bold enough to say 4,000 tons of gold. We have the Northern Metropolis. We have space. It's also a transportation hub. It is also a gateway to the GBA. Well, we shouldn't put gold in the airport. Gold must flow inward, that is, to our motherland. It shouldn't flow outward. Shenzhen high-speed rail, they are right next to us. Is actually the best location. So we do need space to store gold, and we also need to promote the business of the relevant products. There are actually other products in addition to gold. There are related products, such as refined gold. We can achieve complementarity in this regard. In paragraph 44 of the policy address, it mentions that we need to give full play to our connection system. Our citizens hold a lot of assets. there is money in people's pockets. If we don't have to transport the gold back to the motherland, then we will be able to achieve a lot. So we must work hard to expand the mechanism. $10 billion or so in 2014, we have seen a 400% increase. So we can definitely increase the figures by another 100%. Otherwise, we won't be able to support the trading of gold. I hope the government will set up a working group. I'm all for it. If need be, I will express my views. Thank you, Deputy President. Mr. Robert Lee, you may now speak on the amendments. Thank you, Deputy President. I thank Ms. Carmen, Dr. Tan Yueheng, Mr. Edmund Wong, Mr. Tang Ka-piu, Mr. Chun-ying, Mr. Andrew Lam, Mr. Adrian Ho, and Dr. So Cheung-wing for their amendments. Ms. Carmen mentioned earlier this year, President Xi Jinping set forth the general thinking of advancing the building of China into a financial powerhouse through opening up. Last year, in the Central Financial Work Conference, it is said that we need to promote high-quality development to build China into a financial powerhouse. Ms. Carmen mentioned the mutual market access regime, and we do need to look into different connect schemes and reduce the relevance threshold or lower the relevance threshold in order to foster collaboration among securities firms. I also support Dr. So Cheung-wing, Dr. Tan Yueheng, and Ms. Carmen amendments to enhance our status as an offshore renminbi center and to promote the internationalization of renminbi. Mr. Edmund Wong also mentioned we need to inject new impetus into the local economy by involving the professional and business sectors. Mr. Bill Tang mentioned MPF as well as retirement finance. I support all these. In relation to the reduction of fees in MPF and the diversification of MPF products, say MPF contributions can be used to invest in government bonds and funds, then we may find it easier to track the relevant funds and to enhance the return of MPF contributions as well. Mr. Bill Tang, however, also mentioned we need to offer fund options with guarantee above inflation returns. This is quite controversial. Quite many MPF funds are faring better than the inflation mark. They also meet the relevant requirements, but they are not guaranteed above inflation funds. Quite many investment products in the market are linked with inflation, say I-bond, or in the US, we also have other kinds of bonds that are linked to inflation. They are not fund products per se. We need to meet the relevant fund requirements, so in order to fulfill the relevant suggestions, it is quite difficult. So I have reservation about the amendment. Mr. Ronald Chen mentioned we need to bring together international financial talents to build a high-caliber team of financial talents, and the amendment made by Mr. Andrew Lam to build a commodity trading center. These amendments are in line with what I mentioned in my speech in the motion debate. I also agree with Mr. Adrian Ho that we need to reach out to different countries, regions, and emerging markets. We should increase the number of jurisdictions that are eligible in order to help them expand the market. I'd like to say my original motion and the 8 amendments revolve around diversification, opening up, and developing China into a financial powerhouse. We can make contributions to help China, that is our mother country, to achieve this aim.
Secretary for Financial Services and the Treasury. Mr. Deputy, I thank Mr. Robert Lee who moved the motion, the 8 members who moved their respective amendments, and the many members who just spoke. They spoke on stronger impetus for Hong Kong's economic growth. They shared valuable points. Hong Kong has played an active role in our country's reform and opening up. Given the complex international landscape, Hong Kong must further reform to achieve greater development so that we give full play to our unique strength of support from our country and global connections, and we also actively dovetail with national strategies such as the National 14th Five-Year Plan, the Belt and Road Initiative, and the Greater Bay Area development. We should promote highly integrated development with the mainland's financial development, and then we can seize our country's opportunities so that we can serve as this super connector and super value adder. Vice Premier He Lifeng from the State Council proposed 3 points for Hong Kong's development as an international financial center. The Hong Kong SAR government will work with financial regulators and the trade to give effect to those ideas, so that Hong Kong can contribute to our country's development into a financial powerhouse in new ways. Now, I want to share the measures we're taking. First, further deepening financial reforms and innovation to enhance our financial competitiveness. Paragraph 4 in this year's policy address mentions reform, and that idea has been discussed. Hong Kong's capital market has seen many reforms and new measures. So we have more listing pathways for specialist technology firms and special purpose acquisition companies. There's also reform for GEM, that's for small and medium enterprises. There's market trading under adverse weather to make the market more inclusive and attractive. To support issuers from far and wide, including mainland businesses seeking listing outside the mainland, and give more high-quality businesses easier access to financing in Hong Kong, the Securities and Futures Commission and the HKEX announced an enhanced time frame for the new listing application process in October. This is to give greater certainty over the approval timescale for listing applicants. We're also doing deeper studies into market structures and corporate governance. We will announce those recommendations when the moment and circumstances are ripe. Now, we will also be steadily expanding our bond market. This is something members have shared their thoughts on. So we will continue to strengthen Hong Kong's status as an offshore RMB bond issuance. And we will encourage the issuance of government and corporate bonds from mainland and international issuers. There will also be efforts to enhance the market, to enhance the infrastructure for bond issuance, listing, transaction, and custody, so that the mainland can access financing. We're also working towards turning Hong Kong into the premier center of bond issuance and trading in Asia Pacific. We're also going to expand the scale of RMB bond issuance so that we gradually offer a wide range of offshore RMB bonds. We will also see government bonds of a greater variety and denominated in a wider array of currencies. On insurance, we have also taken a range of measures. This July, we launched the risk-based capital regime for the insurance industry. This is to replace the rule-based capital adequacy regime of the past. This new approach strengthens insurers' financial soundness. The insurance authority will further review this system. They will explore making infrastructure investment an option for insurance in their asset allocation to diversify risks. Meanwhile, we also actively promote the development of captive insurers in Hong Kong. We want to attract large state-owned enterprises and businesses from the mainland and overseas to set up their own captive insurers in Hong Kong. The government also promotes Hong Kong's green and sustainable finance development to identify new growth points. This is to solidify Hong Kong's leading position in international sustainable finance. This year, we will launch a roadmap on the full adoption of the International Financial Reporting Standards, Sustainability Disclosure Standards. The goal is to turn Hong Kong into one of the first jurisdictions to align its local requirements with ISSB standards. We will also provide transparent and well-defined pathways on sustainability reporting for businesses in Hong Kong to ready businesses for such reporting. Now, on INT investment, and also creating an INT ecosystem. The Hong Kong Investment Corporation, with patient capital as its focus, has swung into action. The HKIC continues to play a major role in fostering collaboration between the government, industry, academia, research bodies, and investors. The HKIC will bring together the INT sector, entrepreneurs, and venture capitalists. They will guide capital, nurture tech talent, and help firms go global. There will be support for Hong Kong's tech and strategic industries to speed up the fostering of new quality productive forces. On digital finance, we will table a bill on regulating fiat referenced stablecoin issuers in LegCo this year. On the applications of artificial intelligence in the financial market, last month, we released a policy statement on the government's policy position. That was about promoting the responsible use of AI in the financial services sector so that we speed up the fostering of new quality productive forces. There were also efforts on tokenization in the capital market and also Project Enbridge, which is about further encouraging the participation of public and private institutions. There's also Project Ensemble. It's about building the systems for the tokenization market and industry standards. On pension finance, we will stick with HKMC Retire 3, the Hong Kong MC Annuity Plan, Reverse Mortgage Program, and Policy Reverse Mortgage Program. Apart from that, we have other measures as well. So that includes a measure back in 2020 when the MPF authority added the stock exchanges of Shanghai and Shenzhen to its list of approved stock exchanges. In 2022, the MPF authority also amended the laws for MPF to invest in bonds issued or unconditionally guaranteed by the central government's People's Government, the People's Bank of China, and the 3 mainland policy banks, so that members of MPF funds can access a low-risk investment option with steady returns. The MPFs and also the MPF's approved pooled investment funds with CSRC registration can also be sold to retail investors and pension target funds in the mainland. And now turn to gold trading. We have a range of measures in this area to turn Hong Kong into an international gold trading center. We will also set up a company redomiciliation regime. We will table a bill within this year to provide a straightforward way for redomiciliation. The second point is about financial opening and cooperation. We will explore emerging markets to attract more global capital and talent. Hong Kong strives to become a more sophisticated international asset management center. Hong Kong's asset and wealth management business is over $31 trillion in size. More than half of that comes from foreign capital. Among the top 15 exchange participants by transaction amount, more than 70% comes from foreign institutions. In recent years, the SAR government brought in open-ended fund companies and limited partnership funds. These models are highly successful. As at October this year, we had seen more than 1,000 limited partnership funds registered in Hong Kong. We also had almost 500 open-ended fund companies. We also brought in a fund redomiciliation mechanism. And then for those fund companies, as well as real estate investment trusts listed in Hong Kong, we offer grants. The HKEX will offer services under Stage 1 of the Integrated Fund Platform. We will also continuously enhance the preferential tax treatment for those funds, single-family offices, and carried interests so that we can attract more long-term capital with potential to come here and invest in our country through Hong Kong. On family office, we released a policy statement last year and put in place measures for family offices and asset owners to thrive in Hong Kong. In March this year, we rolled out the new capital investment entrance scheme. We have received more than 670 applications, and that's expected to bring more than 20 billion Hong Kong dollars in investment. The policy address this year also proposed a measure for applicants under the new CIES to invest in residential properties at $50 million or more. In international financial collaboration, we will hold the 18th Asian Financial Forum next January. That's to bring together financial and business leaders, and also that's a way for us to tell Hong Kong's story well. We also keep strengthening our ties with the Belt and Road economies to find new sources of investment and capital. Government officials have visited Belt and Road economies, especially Southeast Asia and the Middle East. Last November, the largest exchange-traded fund tracking the Saudi Arabian stock market was listed in Hong Kong. And then last month, 2 ETFs tracking the Hong Kong stock market ETF were also listed in Saudi Arabia. The Hong Kong Monetary Authority also signed a memorandum of understanding with the PIF in Saudi Arabia. It was about a $1 billion investment fund that will invest in manufacturing, renewable energy, and fintech and healthcare in Hong Kong and the rest of the GBA. On capital market mutual access, the HKEX also included the stock markets of Indonesia, Saudi Arabia, Abu Dhabi, and Dubai into the list of recognized stock exchanges that will facilitate businesses secondary listing in Hong Kong from emerging markets. And that's a point close to the heart of Mr. Ambrose Lam. And Hong Kong will serve as this keynote in financing in the Belt and Road. The third point is to further align with national development strategies. This year marks the 10th anniversary of the mutual market access schemes. Now we have a range of investment products, stocks, bonds, derivatives. These are now covered by mutual market access schemes, and Hong Kong has become a main gateway for foreign investors to enter the mainland financial market. There will also be further measures such as including REIT into the Hong Kong Shanghai Stock Connect, RMB counter trading, mutual recognition funds, and also covering commodity trading under mutual access schemes. The policy address this year proposes further measures to internationalize RMB, and that includes upgrading the central money markets unit to facilitate the clearing of our RMB-based assets. There will also be a central clearing system for repo trading denominated in RMB. And we will be expanding the nighttime cross-boundary service capability of Hong Kong's RMB real-time gross settlement system to facilitate global settlement in offshore RMB markets. The HKEX will also encourage more listed companies to add RMB counter trading. We will seize the GBA opportunity. We will promote convergence of rules and systems, and also the delivery of priorities. Cross-boundary Wealth Connect 2.0 took effect this February. The enhancements covered a higher cap for personal investors, lowering the threshold for southbound trading, getting more GBA residents to take part in the scheme. The scheme has been running smoothly. We have seen an increase in the number of investors and cross-boundary fund remittances. More eligible investment products are now available. Now, there are also financial policy measures for people and businesses. Now, since the facilitation measures came out on home buying, Hong Kong residents now have access to a clear way forward when they want to buy residential flats, and we have already seen successful examples. And that builds up experience for full cross-boundary credit referencing. Collaboration in cross-boundary credit referencing can also foster financing and loans for small and medium businesses, and that will serve the real economy. This June, the SCR government set up a joint financial collaboration committee with Shenzhen, and that covers a number of areas, including mutual market access, fintech, and green tech. And we will continue to work through the 18 measures for supporting the linked development of Shenzhen and Hong Kong venture capital investments in Shanghai with the Shanghai Authority of Shenzhen. This is to provide greater ease for Hong Kong's private equities to promote venture capital in Shenzhen and in Hong Kong. President, I thank the members who spoke once again. We can put our heads together and we share our thoughts on the way forward. As Mr. He Lifeng, the Vice Premier, said, developing Hong Kong as an international financial center and cementing our position is what Hong Kong should do, and this is what our country values. This is our goal and this is our journey. This is our strategy and our plan. The overall positive trajectory of our country's economy will not change. Let's work together and we can seize our country's historic opportunities from reform and opening up, and then we can strengthen our role as our country's international financial center.
I now call upon Ms. Carmen to move an amendment. President, I move my amendment. I propose a question to you that Ms. Carmen amendment be passed. Will those in favor please raise their hands? Those against, please raise their hands. I think the question is agreed by a majority of each of the two groups of members present. I declare the amendment passed. Dr. Tan Yueheng, as the preceding amendment has been passed, you may move your further amendment. President, I move my further amendment. I propose a question to you that Dr. Tan Yueheng's further amendment be passed. Will those in favor please raise their hands? Those against, please raise their hands. I think the question is agreed by a majority of each of the two groups members present. I declare the amendment passed. Mr. Edmund Wong, as the preceding amendment has been passed, you may move your further amendment. President, I move my further amendment and I propose a question to you that Mr. Edmund Wong's further amendment be passed. Will those in favor please raise their hands? Those against, please raise their hands. I think the question is agreed by a majority of each of the two groups of members present. I declare the amendment passed. Mr. Ka-piu, as the preceding amendments have been passed, you may move your further amendment. President, I move my further amendment. I propose a question to you that Mr. Ka-piu's further amendment be passed. I now put the question to you as stated. With those in favor, please raise their hands. Those against, please raise their hands. I think the question is agreed by a majority of each of the two groups of members present. I declare the amendment passed. Mr. Chun-ying, as the preceding amendments have been passed, you may move your further amendment. President, I move my further amendment. I propose a question to you that Mr. Chun-ying's further amendment be passed. Will those in favor please raise their hands? Those against, please raise their hands. I think the question is agreed by a majority of each of the two groups of members present. I declare the amendment passed. Mr. Andrew Lam, as the preceding amendments have been passed, you may move your further amendment. President, I move my further amendment. I propose a question to you that Mr. Andrew Lam's further amendment be passed. Will those in favor please raise their hands? Those against, please raise their hands. I think the question is agreed by a majority of each of the two groups of members present. I declare the amendment passed. Mr. Adrian Petro Ho, as the preceding amendments have been passed, you may move your further amendment. President, I move my further amendment. I propose a question to you that Mr. Adrian Pedro Ho's further amendment be passed. I now put the question to you as stated. Will those in favor please raise their hands? Those against? I think the question is agreed by a majority of each of the two groups of members present. I declare the amendment passed. Dr. Cheung-wing, as the preceding amendments have been passed, you may move your further amendment. President, I move my further amendment. I propose a question to you that Dr. Cheung-wing's further amendment be passed. Will those in favor please raise their hands? Those against, please raise their hands. I think the question is agreed by a majority of each of the two groups of members present. I declare the amendment passed. Mr. Robert Lee, you have 1 minute and 44 seconds to reply. Then the debate will come to a close. Mr. Robert Lee. Thank you, President. I thank 41 members who spoke in the motion debate. 8 members move amendments to my original motion. I'm glad to hear about members' comments on the 6 strong key core financial elements in the 5 major articles. I look forward to seeing that members and I will work together to promote high-quality development to build China into a financial powerhouse. So we will build our country into a great modern socialist country in all respects. Thank you, President. I now put the question to you that Mr. Robert Lee's motion as amended by Ms. Carmen, Dr. Tan Yueheng, Mr. Edmund Wong, Mr. Tang Ka-piu, Mr. Chun-ying, Mr. Andrew Lam, Mr. Adrian Ho, and Dr. Cheung-wing be passed. Will those in favor please raise their hands? Those against, please raise their hands. I think the question is agreed by a majority of each of the two groups of members present. I declare the motion as amended passed.
Members' motion with no legislative effect